G'day from the Las Vegas Strip Circuit. I was here just a little over 3 weeks ago and I did a video showing you the progress. Is the track going to be ready for our race on November 18? I'm about to find out and I'd like you to join me, so come on, let's go. I'm here at the first turn and have a look at the curbing. Yes, it's red and white, but you've got all the suits from a deck of cards. What a great idea. And is it all the way around the track? It is. I'm up the very top level of the grandstand opposite the garages, and I did have a fear that the lighting rig would block your view of the cars, but as you can see here, that lighting rig is higher than the cars on track, although it will block some people from getting a view of a pit stop. If you've got a lot of money, you probably want to be up here. This is the Skybox, and as you can see, even in its early stages of being dressed, it's quite remarkable. Very plush and very Las Vegas-y. On Wednesday night, there's a big opening ceremony here. At 7:30 p.m, they're introducing all 10 acts, the likes of Keith Urban, Tiesto, Steve Aoki and more. And who gets to attend this event? Well, anyone with a main grandstand ticket or a Skybox ticket or a Paddock Club ticket. Now, last time I was here in this pit building, all you had was this expanse of beautiful polished concrete. But as you can see now, these corporate suites are going in. These tickets, being Paddock Club tickets, are in the order of $20,000 US per person. So you'd want to be keen to have plenty to eat and plenty to drink and really love the sport, because you get this amazing view right over the garages and onto pit straight. Standing up here on the first level with the paddock behind me and the hospitality suites, you can see it's a very long paddock. But there's one rather quirky aspect to it that I can't tell you about now. It's just there, but I have to tell you more once we get into the weekend. But you'll want to hear about it. It's, quite frankly, it's out there. I'm standing right in the middle of turn 3 that comes out here onto Koval Lane. And at the moment, there's a lot of freight sitting on the track for all the teams, but I imagine in a few days' time that'll all be put into place inside those garages. This walkway is temporary. It takes you from the inside of the track across Koval and to the area behind me, which is the Red Bull grandstands. But out here on Koval Lane, I showed you last time what the corporate suites looked like on the left-hand side of the road. Have a look at them now. Now, this circuit employs the same barriers and fencing as every other F1 circuit. Each one of these concrete barriers weighs about 4 tons. That's about 5 times the weight of an F1 car. And the actual fencing section, well, they've bought 1,000 of these panels, and then they've gone and rented 2,000 panels off the Miami GP. I can tell you that when I was here 3 weeks ago, there was not 2 overpasses coming over Koval Lane here at East Flamingo, which is the spot that Tupac, the rapper, was shot. This is a very important piece of infrastructure here because it is the only way for cars to get from the outside of the track to the inside of the track. So if you have a hotel reservation or you've got a dinner reservation, you have to show purpose, I believe, to get in here, but you can while the track is closed for on-track activities. I can't let this video go without telling you there's been a lot of negative comment about this race, and certainly on my last video it was huge. People being very angry with the traffic situation, and rightly so, because it has caused huge disruption.
We're down maybe about 2 million at this point in sales since the construction. They've been working on it all summer. They tore up the road, they closed this entrance, they closed our other entrance. And at 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, I think we're going to have to close, which is then there's no sales. So it's devastated him.
This was not here 3 weeks ago when I came. This is a walk bridge that takes you from the outside of the track across to the T-Mobile fan zone, which is right in front of the Sphere. And over here at the Sphere, you can also see the playing card suits on the curbing.
When this is all closed off, and over 100,000 people are crammed together in the same area. Well, fortunately for him, Las Vegas police are joining forces with the National Guard.
Now, when I was here 3 weeks ago, there was some doubt whether or not the Sphere would run for the on-track sessions, but I've now been told that it will definitely be on, and F1 actually has control of the Sphere over that race weekend. I can't wait to see what goes up on it. Now, if you're coming to the Venetian to see the gondolas out the front of the hotel, you'll be disappointed because there is a whopping great corporate platform there, and on the other side of the track is the Mirage, and if you're hoping to see the big erupting volcano, yeah, well, that's out of action too. And instead, there are grandstands in front of that volcano. And on the subject of entry into the Mirage, it's blocked off on Las Vegas Boulevard, but you can access it by the rear going via Mel Torme. There are very few people who know Las Vegas like this man. This is Paulie C.
I don't know about that.
What's the reaction from the general public?
At first, everybody was just ecstatic because nobody really understood exactly what the implications were of all the construction, of all the traffic. You know, as time went by, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. 80–90% of the locals are really not happy about it. People in Las Vegas are all about their jobs. And if they have to take another hour and a half just to get to their job, or even if it's an hour, that's 2 hours a day, that's 10 hours a week. F1 should have done a lot more for the community. They should have at the very least had like $50 tickets, and the CEO should have gotten up in front of the community. I would have said, you're gonna go through a lot of pain and then you're gonna have a lot of gain later on. And this is how we're gonna make the pain better for you. I'm giving them a D. I'm giving them a D and I'm being generous.
I really appreciate your candid comments though.
Vegas, Paulie C.
I'm standing on one of the overpasses across the track. These are permanent, and a couple of weeks ago this plastic film was placed over the glass, which meant it was tricky to see through. And then, to make it even harder, they placed some lights above. But people didn't like it and they were ripping off that film. So to counter that, this structure here has been placed, and now it's almost impossible to get your hands anywhere near that glass. And this mesh above us is to stop people throwing stuff onto the track. From a photography point of view, I think it's going to be impossible to walk the whole circuit on the inside or outside, because if you have a look over the other side here, there's just no gap. Now, whether we can get outside the moat, which is the area that we walk around in, and come back in, I'm not sure. I've seen numerous questions about whether or not you can access properties on the strip over the race weekend. Well, the answer is yes, except for when the track is closed, and that will be from 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. over the 4 days of the event. Yes, there are 4 days. It runs Wednesday through to Saturday. For instance, here at Paris, you'd want to be driving up this road, but behind me here, you can see that there is a gap in the track fencing, but that gap will be closed on the nights of the event. I think the best place to see action will be right here. This is the end of the main straight. They turn left off Las Vegas Boulevard onto Harmon. There'll be heavy braking, there'll be chances of overtaking and perhaps even a collision. But there are no grandstands down here. Although if you do ride this escalator up and down, I don't know whether they'd let you do that all race, you'd certainly see some sort of action. Now, I've seen a couple of questions from people saying, when are they going to finish the lighting on the other side of the track? Will they have it done in time? Well, there's only lighting on one side of the track. And why is that? Because the actual footprint of these lighting stands is large, and they don't have enough space on the other side of the track to allow lighting on both. But this system has already been proven to work, so it's no drama.
It seems like a gorgeous event. It seems fantastic. I was telling my friend earlier that in Vegas, I feel like it's gonna be like the level Mario Karts, you know, when you're on the Rainbow Road. That's what I think in my little pea brain up here, but I don't know.
Yeah, this fountain hasn't been running for 3 years, but it will be up and running by race weekend.
I've also been told that there'll be a $15 surcharge on every taxi trip over the Grand Prix weekend. Somebody said it's because Europeans don't like to tip. So if that's the case, if you pay your surcharge, don't tip. This is the first time I've driven down Las Vegas Boulevard with the F1 lighting on. Not all the lights are on, obviously they're still testing and there's a couple out, but yeah, it's pretty effective. And because we're racing at night, we're looking at a temperature range from 11 degrees down to 8 degrees Celsius and a 40% chance of rain on Friday. And if that's the case, because there's no support races, it could mean that come Saturday race day, there is no grip whatsoever on the track. All the rubber that was laid down has been washed away. So is Las Vegas going to be ready to host this second last round of the 2023 season? Of course it is. They've been working 24/7 and they'll keep working up to the very last moment to make sure this event gets across the line, because there is too much riding on it for it not to succeed. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. And for a whole lot of merchandise and extra content, have a look here. Thanks for watching.
And stay passionate. Woo!
All right.
Then you go straight in. So, no, hang
Do you
on.
really
No, hang
appreciate
on.
them? Are they going to see the light of day? Are my comments going to see the light of day?
Yeah, not all of
I
it.
certainly hope so.
What do you think of it so far?
Very nice. You're a